Greeting, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another episode of Bloodborne. So for today, we are going to go ahead and continue exploring. Now that we've got our weapon upgraded from the previous two sessions, we are going to be looking really pretty for what we are going to be doing. So the area that is on the chopping block would be Forbidden Woods. And so we're going to go ahead and go over there and handle some business, shall we? Alrighty. So, the funny thing is, I've actually been recording this game in, hour-long segments, divided up into, 30 minutes and whatnot. But I think I'm probably going to make this one a little bit shorter and whatnot than usual. It's still alright, but, I gotta record this one and, do the voiceover for this session, which is, 30 minutes or 20 minutes, I'm not sure. And then I have to do it for the next session and whatnot. And I can do a lot of stuff within 30 minutes of Bloodborne, but, like I just said, I really want to try and just explore this area for this episode and, showcase it a bit. And then we'll go ahead and move on from there. And as you can see, we're sitting pretty because, again, we have a +8 weapon, good blood gems for what we have right now, and, yeah. Now, the funny thing is, I actually did a base level run. I wanted to do a base level run of Bloodborne. It's not blood level 4, but it's still, pretty much the same, I'd say. And, I'm having a really interesting time with it, because, I've already done blood level 4, so it's not necessarily, a difficult thing with me, it's just interesting to go back and play, and just to see how really solid Bloodborne's combat is, to allow for some, really good damage at that, level. Of course, criticals are going to be garbage, but everything else is just really pretty good, in all honesty. Counter damage is so bad. Well, not so bad, but it's so good. Well, it's bad for me in the realm of getting hit. And, good for me when I'm the one hitting, It's so ridiculous to the extent, a charged R2 does slightly more damage. I do mean slightly more damage than a regular, R2 with a counterattack. It's crazy. I'm telling you, It's really crazy to see how crazy counter damage is. Let's say because I think I have the numbers right. My charged attack did 229 damage on my base level character, and my R2 in a counter state did 225 damage. And right there, I just wanted to showcase something very interesting that I noticed about the threaded cane and weapons hitting around corners in general. There seems to be a distance thing in Bloodborne, to whereas if your weapon has swung for a certain period of time, it will not ricochet. In other words, to whereas if I were to try and do that attack right against the wall, it would ricochet. But because I'm doing it in the opposite direction of the wall and it's having time to travel, it's easier for that to go and hit around corners and whatnot. And with the threaded cane, you can do that both ways because they have attacks from right and left, so you're pretty good in that regard. So there are just times where, hey, you can make your first attack miss and then, make your next attack, better. So I just wanted to showcase this right here. Sniping enemies from below. But this guy, he decided to, run up, and so it's what it is. It's such a versatile weapon. The threaded cane. Such a versatile weapon. But yeah. Counter damage is crazy in this game. I'm really hoping that I can, do a, a Let's Play. Now, on my editor, I just saw a glitch. I hope that doesn't transfer over. I hope that, the processing adjusts that and whatnot. It was a lag glitch or something? I don't know. So, I'm hoping that it's not really going to be a thing. So yeah, I'm just going ahead and taking out these enemies and whatnot. I really don't know why people hate on this weapon. I know I say it not necessarily every video, but it's just a little annoying to me. It's really underrated for how good it is and how versatile it is and things that you can use it for. It just sucks that people think it's bad to me, that's all. Didn't sneak on him enough. You really gotta walk at a certain speed in order to get past, well, not past, but behind enemies enough to, charge attack them etc. These are just twin bloods, so they'll be good to upgrade my gun if it's not already +6. I'm not sure if I put it to +6 yet. So, it's alright. And we just come back over this way. And I just wanted to do something funny here with those pungent blood cocktails. As you will see soon enough. So over here we have a sniper. Now you can run past these dudes, but I was just like, you know, why not just go ahead and clear them out and whatnot. Juke that bullet and wrecked him. Good looking. So, watch this. This is something really interesting. Now, when this guy shoots the cannon, watch how far the cannonball goes. Easily over my head, right? Now, let's go ahead and eliminate this guy. Now, watch how far this cannonball goes when I shoot the cannon. I was like, oh, maybe I'm going to hit that guy. Nope. Just out of range. It's literally retarded. I don't know why they did that. It's literally in one area. Just let us have fun with it, you know? It's not gonna break the game or something. So this is what I wanted to do. This is what I wanted to do right over here. If you do this right, you aim at the ground, like right over here. Since it's a pungent blood cocktail and he's a beast, he attacks, and here's what we have. Oh, it's excellent. It's so worth it, even though it's like one enemy. It really is. But it's just so stupid. Like, the cannonball literally goes nowhere, you know? Nowhere. I don't know why they chose to do that. I really don't. It was just a dumb decision to me. Bam bam. So yeah, there are a few enemies like in those like little shacks where you can take shelter, but most of them don't really have good items, so I don't really care. Most of them are like just, you know, random stuff, and we don't really need that. We got our weapon +8, so we're sitting pretty. We probably actually do need vials, but I mean, we're sitting pretty again in the realm of like damage, so boss fights aren't usually gonna require me to heal as much if I can destroy the health bar, you know. Okay, let's go ahead and head up here. This is the shortcut back to the area and whatnot. You know, I actually really like this post commentary for like these kinds of games and whatnot. I'd still rather live commentary because there's so much that I can, you know, explain in real time, explain my thinking process and whatnot. But I don't know. We'll just have to, again, you know, wait and see. We'll have to wait and see when I finally get employed and whatnot, and things start going right for a change. So we'll see. But yeah, you know, like these snake enemies, they're not really worth your time, so I usually just run past them. Now, with this jump, like, jumping against the wall seems to, like, I don't know, make the collision funny, and so, like, you actually jump a little higher than you normally would. And so you can use that to clear certain gaps, you know, try jumping next to a wall if you're trying to make a long jump. Sometimes it helps. Sometimes. We all know how jumping is in FromSoft, so, yeah. Just say, let me go ahead and do this. It's the counter damage for you. Ball of snakes. Now, I always thought that was so funny. Like, you take fall damage from that, like, small little height. It's just so stupid. It's like, it's just completely unnecessary. Like, come on, dude. And these ball of snakes has, like, obviously, like, you know, venom and whatnot, and so I'm just like, you know, let me just go ahead and whip them from far away, and that'll handle that problem. It's not really worth it to clear out all of them, but you want to, then. I'm just showcasing. Try and take advantage of a weapon's range. Backstep R1. Beautiful. Such a beautiful attack. Now, right over this way is another chunk, and so grabbing this quickly will be of great use to us. Now again, these enemies are not to be taken lightly, so I said let me go ahead and pull out my my whip mode, because if I try to use melee, like, the snakes will just barrage you while you're attacking. Even if this guy's getting stun locked, the snakes won't. So you want to try. And as you saw right there, he has like some freaking arm stretchy garbage that he tries. They have a grab. They're just really not fun to deal with. So as you can see, I'm just taking advantage of the back step. R R1. Well, it's R2 actually. And rally is a great mechanic, so we got our health back. And now there's just one more that we have to deal with, and so just let me go ahead and sneak up on him and handle that. You know? And now that we have that chunk, we're going to be sitting quite pretty. And as you know, probably by this time, there are big snakes in here, and that's not fun times, so we just leave those guys be. Now remember, these are the guys that are turning into the snakes, so you want to deal with them as quickly as you possibly can. Move on up this way, and we have a snake down here. Now, the funny thing is, you can kill these things relatively easy. The key is actually to just be behind them. Even though they're a ball of snakes, like, they don't have any attack that can, you know, like, hit their, blind spot, so you're going to be good. Look at these boars. Piggies. I just like there's no real need to take the risk. I honestly don't know why they did that. They took the time to like draw an anus on the pig for whatever reason, and then a visceral attack seriously has you freaking doing a freaking exam on them. Come on. I think they just liked that or something. Like, I think they just found that amusing, and so they decided to keep that in the game. They probably could have, like, I don't know, did a little something different. Because a pig isn't really a hard enemy to deal with, even if you don't backstab them. These guys are annoying. There was another pig over here, and I think I showcased like a little pop-in, pop-out kind of thing. And you gotta be careful about that, like when you're fighting pigs in certain areas, like for farming or whatever. There are certain times where if you're far away from a pig, they would just straight up disappear. And that's for all enemies, though, in general. There's like a certain range that they just are like not within visual range, and the game just doesn't register them being there, even though they're there. And if they see you, you know, next thing you know, a pig is just over here charging you, pops right in, and you're like, what in oblivion is going on? And that's usually a wrap for you. Now, these guys are kin, and kin are weak to thrust attacks, if you guys don't already know. But, unfortunately, the thing about thrust attacks is, as you saw there, small hitbox. And I run into a bit of trouble right over here as I try and showcase that. You see? I try to hit this guy, but for some reason I kept locking on to his buddies. Nearly got molled for it, you know, like it was just ridiculous. Now I just wanted to showcase for this next enemy that these backstep attacks that I am in fact doing are in fact thrust attacks, as you see right there. That was 79, and that was 200. So those are, in fact, you know, thrust attacks. Making them even more deadly because they're a thrust attack with an extended whip, and the whip has serration damage, so, yeah, it's really good. Really good. And so we head back over this way. And for us, I think that's pretty much about it for Forbidden Woods. All that's left is to deal with the boss. I said, oh, let me go ahead and grab that item. I usually don't necessarily clear out all the Forbidden Woods. I know there are a few runes here. I think, well, a rune. There's a rune. Well, actually, a few runes. Actually, yeah, it's actually a few runes. There's a few runes. There's some chunks, but I usually just grab one because it's on my way to the boss. So I don't really clear it all out. Now, these trees are like just really annoying sometimes because sometimes you're literally trying to get past them, and look at this, right over here. I mean, come on. You're just annoying and whatnot. Yeah, you can go this way, but still, that's just a little annoying for my taste. Now we just run up over here. And over back down that way. That's where the boss is. This is leading to the shortcut. And now that we have that door open, we have a shortcut to the boss. But we are not going to be taking on the boss just yet. As you can see, we have a good number of souls. So I'd like to get rid of my insurance, if you will, so that I don't have to worry about losing it. It's pretty much putting souls into the bank, if you will. Only the bank is your inventory. And so you can actually, you know, carry stuff around. Or you can put them into levels, you know, so it's either way. It's pretty okay in that realm, instead of holding on to them for a boss fight. And shadows may not necessarily be the hardest boss, but they are annoying, so I just say that I'd much rather just, you know, do this. Now, if you want to know, like, when they're bad, though, like, I play Fist only. Awful. It's a terrible experience. It really is. Having to constantly deal with that snake spam summon, like, that summoning jutsu garbage that they do, nah, man. It is not fun to deal with. So I was just like, okay, let me go over here and word of advice, before you actually level up, like, take care of any kind of, like, you know, upgrading items and whatnot that you're going to sell and whatnot, because then you won't have to go back to the doll and see if you need to level up or something. So that's just at least how I do it. Now we've got our clockwise metamorphosis and whatnot, so we're sitting pretty. I do want to go ahead and get rid of these two weapons just to make sure that I don't have don't accidentally swap to it and whatnot. The Rider Palash, again, you know, it's a pretty good weapon. That thing destroys great ones and whatnot. Most thrust attacks and whatnot. And like the sweep attack, strong attack version. Like the slash attack, that's a sweep. And that builds quite a bit of beasthood, so it's really good. Especially like when you're dealing with multiple enemies. Oh yeah. So just going through some gems. I know this isn't necessarily the most entertaining part, but I just want to make sure that, you know, I'm getting the most out of my gems, and I'm selling the ones that I don't need, so I don't have a cluttered blood gem inventory. And I do recommend keeping them, because you can actually get a good bit for certain gems. So I know certain people, like, they see a gem, they just discard it immediately, but hey, selling it can actually get you quite a few souls. Later in the game, of course, especially if you're doing dungeons and whatnot. Easily get up to, like, I don't know, maybe 10k if you have a good amount of gems and whatnot, like you will doing the dungeons.
Welcome. What is it?
So, let me just go ahead and
Very
level this
well.
up.
Let me.
As you can see here, I'm telling you folks, our build is nearing pretty much completion. You know, like, just 2 stats that we're putting in, and we're still pretty relatively low leveled. And, we just don't really have to worry as much. So I just popped these last couple of souls and whatnot to get that level up, and then we're going to go ahead and end the episode. But our build, again, you know, it is nearing pretty much effective completion.
Well,
I can still, you know, put stats into
Very
other
well.
things, but I'm not really going to worry about that right now. I just much rather handle this, you know, this way. I forgot to bow, forgive me. I will admit. So that's going to go ahead and conclude this episode here, folks, and when we come back next time, we are going to eliminate the Shadows of Yharnam, and perhaps even deal with another boss. So I'd like to thank you all for watching, God bless, and I will see you next time.